Good morning everybody and welcome to the Sunday morning show. It has been some time since I've actually got out to the golf course and created a little Sunday morning show for you. Can you see that little bad boy behind me? I need to introduce you to Stuart. He's my new follow caddy. Got a lot to catch up with this week because I've not done one for some time, as I've already said. Open qualifying, need to talk to you a little bit about open qualifying because that one went under the radar. Some of you probably didn't even know I was even going to open qualifying. So before we even get into this show, I just want to take this opportunity to congratulate Lester and his partner Louise on the birth of Lester's first child, Esther. Esther Olivia was born a couple of days ago this week. For those of you that were planning on being Dad of the Year for 2026, stand down, because as we all know, Lester is a little bit of a child himself still, and he's looking after. However, he will be an amazing dad, and I know he's going to come out the blocks hurtling for the Dad of the Year award for 2026. So anyway, Lester, if you're watching, congratulations, and I know everybody will be clicking down in the comments saying congratulations, Lester and Louise. Anyway, let's get out onto the golf course. I've put the golf hat on today because you'd probably think I'd forgotten what game I actually play, so I put golf on just to remind me. Anyway, let's get onto the golf course, let's hit some shots, talk you through a bit of open qualifying, talk you through where I've been, and see how the game's feeling. So the big question, why did I go and do open qualifying? Well, I was doing some filming at Minchinhampton Golf Club with Foremost for our kind of like little coming out of the winter kind of like few videos that we had to put together. And we kind of finished 2 days of filming there, and I was kind of sat on by the second green waiting for the guys to finish off some photographs and things like that. And I was sort of almost like reminiscing about my times at Minchinhampton and some of the things that I'd kind of been up to since when I've been there in the past. And I've had some great experiences at Minchinhampton Golf Club because South West Counties Week, which is the best week that you would have if you played for any of the South West counties, it's the qualifying for the English County Finals. So it's a 10-man team. You go up there with representing the county, which for me would be Devon. And you have a week of golf, you have a week of match play, and in the middle of the match play week is the qualifier, which is a 36-hole stroke play event, which qualifies the team. I think the top 6 players or whatnot take the team to English County Finals, which has just happened. Devon just finished, I think, runner-up in the event for the match play. I think this last sort of few weeks ago. But anyway, the other thing that I've done at Minchinhampton is I did open qualifying there in 2004. I did my first ever open qualifying, which I got through. I shot 3 under par, I got into a 10-man playoff, and 2 of us advanced through to the final qualifying, which was at Littlestone in Kent, which was the event was being played, I think, in 2004. I'm pretty sure it was 2004. The event was being played at Royal St George's, which I think Ben Curtis won it there, if I remember rightly. Anyway, so I was sat there reminiscing, and I just thought, do you know what? The last time I had done open qualifying was 20 years ago. 20 years ago. And if you think in that time, what would be the reason why you wouldn't, let's say, go for open qualifying? Well, there was a couple of reasons for me. Number one, expense. Back then it was around £100 to enter. It then went to like £150, and now it's even £200 to enter the event. So it's a lot of money. It's a lot of outlay for a young assistant who's not earning big money to warrant going and playing in it. And then you kind of get out of the rhythm of doing it, so therefore you stop playing in it. So that was kind of the main reason behind it. But obviously business gets involved, kids get involved, family, wives, whatever it is that kind of jumps in your way, it kind of stops you from entering such a prestigious event. And I just looked at it and thought, do you know what? it's 3 rounds of golf. If you can get it going for 3 rounds of golf, which is regional qualifying 18 holes and then a 36-hole final, what other sport allows you to have the opportunity to play in the biggest event in the world, ultimately the Open, and what other sport allows you to be able to go and have the opportunity to qualify for that? You can't just go and qualify for the World Cup. You can't just go and qualify for the, I don't know, the World Series of baseball or even the NFL and things like that, or go and play on the Premier League. Like, it just doesn't allow you to be able to do that. So, whereas golf is unique in that way, I feel. So I thought, do you know what? I'm going to give it a go. I'm going to actually give it a go and enter the qualifying round, which I didn't actually enter Minchinhampton. I entered Ferndown, didn't get into Ferndown, ended up at Minchinhampton. Work never stops for these boys. Hand water in the greens. There'll be some type of wetting agent, I would think. I mean, considering the warm weather that we've had, just sort of focusing on maybe the high spots, dark spots, brown spots. That's not ideal, is it? Look at that. That is the lie, and that is the shot that I'm faced with. Absolutely nailed it. Right in the middle. Nice to find a little bit of shade, isn't it? The result then. So, the great news is I am going to be going to final qualifying for the Open. However, I'm on the bag. Yep, brother Paul went to Ferndown and got through with 3 under par. Didn't even need to go into a playoff, just got straight through. I'm sure there was loads on 2 under that had to go to playoffs, but Paul is going to be at Burnham and Barrow on this Tuesday coming. So if you're about and you want to come and have a little look at some of the golf and walk inside the ropes, I think you've got to register now. In the old days, you used to be able to just stroll in and watch, but now I think you've got to be able to register. It's just another way of the RNA getting a hold of your details. But anyway, you've got to register to go and watch. So there's 4 locations, I think Dundonald, West Lancs, Royal Cinque Ports and Burnham and Barrow. I don't know of all the players that are going to be there, but Paul is going to be teeing off first out, I think at 6:20, so an early start, 36 holes, so it's going to be 6:20 and then 11:50. If you are in the area of Burnham and Barrow and you want to come and watch, I'll be on the bag, Paul will be playing, and hopefully, fingers crossed, he can find a little bit of form and just peak at the right time. He's just shot the day after qualifying, just shot 8 under par, new course record at Exeter Golf and Country Club, which was for the ladies Pro-Am, which was amazing. So he's obviously got into a little bit of form, which is great to see, and hopefully he can do all right at Burnham. He likes Burnham. He's done pretty well around there over the years. PJ champion round there back in 2015, I think. So exciting times. Back to my golf. Didn't obviously get it done. Shot 81, shot 9 over par. And to be honest with you, there was some real positives that I kind of wanted to take from it. Number one, I entered it, and it's something I want to do moving forward. Number 2, I felt like I putted really quite nicely. Number 3, I didn't lose a golf ball, but tee to green, pretty averagely bad. I had 10 bogeys, 1 birdie. You can see the celebration of one of the birdies there. Joe the Pro was filming that. But I just got, not that I got nervous, but I lost my confidence. I was doing quite well, felt like I was leading up to it. I felt like I was quite confident. You'd have seen the video of Walton Heath. I was playing quite nicely there, shot 4 under around Walton Heath. And I thought, do you know what? I feel good. Then I played in a couple of Pro-Ams, didn't score so well, hit it pretty good. And then last week I was playing in the Devon and Cornwall PGA Championships, and I just lost it. I lost my swing completely, lost my confidence hugely. So when it came to going to Minchinhampton, I wasn't overly expecting anything. 81, not what I thought I'd shoot, but you know, it just happens. It's the way it goes. Like I said, I didn't get angry once. I didn't get disappointed almost once. It was just one of those rounds. But I'm just proud of myself for getting into it. I didn't want to expose it too much on YouTube because loads of people have done all the journey to the Open and things like that. Getting to final qualifying is amazing. It's harder than it's ever been, but it is such an amazing experience. Having done it once and having the experience of walking around with the crowds and things like that is just such a buzz, a feeling you can't really explain, to be honest with you. So I want to keep going. I want to keep having a go at it. It's that, like I said, it's that great opportunity of 3 rounds to get to the Open, and you never know, do you? But next year, you know, Leicester's kind of convinced me that maybe we should need to do something about it and showcase it a little bit more. So we'll see. But anyway, I've just whacked a tree. I better go and find it. Well, you know I like testing out rangefinders. I've had a few now, different types of rangefinders, but I've got this one now, which is the Vistaget Golvia Ultra. Now, this actual show is sponsored by these guys because they wanted to be involved. They wanted to get a bit of an insight into what I thought about their product. So I thought I'd bring it out onto a Sunday show and put it to the test. I've actually been using it now for probably about 3 or 4 rounds, and the features involved in this particular product over other products on the market are just absolutely phenomenal. So I thought it only right to bring it into the studio, take it out the box, and see exactly what we've got. Little case that comes with it. You've seen these with other products, but got the zip, we've got the little strap that runs around it, whatever kind of works for you. Then inside we've got a little charger. Comes with a charger because you've got to remember this one is chargeable. So that comes with it, USB-C, and we've got a little carabiner clip, and we've got a little wipe cloth, and we've got a little air tag that you can attach to the actual product itself. Now on the top of the rangefinder you've got 2 buttons. We've got the on-off button and we've got the M button, the mode button. Now there's 2 modes that come built into this product. We've got the standard mode, which gives you absolutely everything you can possibly want. And then we've got tournament mode, which is obviously a dialed down version because there's certain rules and regulations that we've got to stick to, especially when we're playing tournament golf. Now I said I've been using this for some time, and I've been using it in a few events just to kind of put it to the test because I don't want to kind of share it with you until I get a real good understanding of how it's performed for me. And you heard there straight away that little beep noise as it hit my target, and it's got AI stabilization, which means that when you set up to it, it'll kind of wobble itself into position so it gets it absolutely perfect, making sure that you know that you're locked onto that flag straight away. AI, environmental compensation. What on earth is that? Well, it's nothing that we need to kind of worry about, but built into this product is it's basically got an AI environmental technology which is going to measure things like temperature, it's going to measure things like air density, humidity, and it's going to factor all of that in to, again, give us the most precise reading. So if you're going from country to country, or you're going from winter months to summer months, well, you know that the temperature is going to affect how the ball flies. Well, this particular product is going to measure all that and then give us the exact number, again, working perfectly with our game. It's also got smart club recommendation. Now, I've got the user guide here, the user manual. Now, I'm not a big one for user manuals because ultimately I am a bloke and we generally like to pick these things up and just get going. But like I said, it's got this smart club recommendation, which you can switch on or switch off. But what it does, if you work your way through the manual, it's got some club default settings in here. Now, granted, these numbers are actually possibly closer to, well, they're closer to my numbers, but if you're using game improvement irons, let's say, that are more powerful, then it's going to give you lob wedge of 100 yards, pitching wedge 130 yards, 8 iron 150 yards, so you might be 7 iron 150 yards, but 8 iron 150 yards. And when you zap your yardage, it's going to tell you what club to pick out of your bag based on the default numbers. I mean, we can figure all that out whichever way we go when it comes to our yardages, but that is quite a cool little tool, isn't it? You know, you've got not only a product that's giving you so many different options anyway, but actually then going to tell you what club to hit. I mean, This is an absolute winner for me, as far as I'm concerned. And the last thing I want to mention, and we're talking about AI and how we can use AI to improve our games in many ways. Loads of companies using AI. We've got now True Slope. That's right. You've seen slope systems in other products. Using AI, using the algorithms in AI, we're now getting the absolute precise side of it. This is getting dialed in as close as we can get to give us the best up and down sloping measurements that we can get. And again, wouldn't be using that, let's say, in tournament mode, but you're going to be using that certainly in your standard mode. And I think when you start to use slope, you then start to see the differences when you're working in a tournament. So when you get onto a tournament, you get to a high tee looking down onto a green or something along those lines, or vice versa. You'll start to learn how to gauge that by using the slope system on your device. And knowing that you've got AI now to help and improve on that, I think, again, is just another win when it comes to the VistaGet product. So as you can see, loads of features packed into this little bad boy. My favourite feature, and I think there's always got to be one, it used to be the magnet on the side of these things, but I think we've advanced even more than that now. This feature has got the tri-measure. Now, what I love about the tri-measure, and you're probably thinking, what's that? Well, think about these scenarios, okay? You get to your golf ball and there's a tree or a dune or a huge mound or whatever you want to call it in the way. Or you're on a buggy and you're out in your cart path and you got to a situation where your buggies aren't allowed on the golf course, on the main area of the golf course. So you then have to stay to the cart path, and what you normally do is you wander over to your golf ball with your rangefinder, a few clubs, and you zap from there and off you go. Now, what we've got is the tri-measure, which means that I can get myself into a scenario like we've got here right now, where I've got tee box over here, and then I've got the par 3 green up the top there, 17. Now, what I want to do in this scenario is I'm going to zap, I call it zap, but basically I'm going to measure point A and then take it over to point B and measure again, and that's going to give me the exact yardage from that point there to that point there. So like I said, you can walk away around to the other side of the tree, zap your ball, and then zap the target, and therefore it gives you your measurement, which for me is huge, especially when you're using these things in carts, in buggies. Nothing worse than being stuck to the cart path, but being able to still use your rangefinder from the buggy. Really, really, really cool feature. So I mentioned earlier that this is the first Sunday show I've done for some time, and the reason why I have kind of been a little bit all over the place, should we say, is because of this extension that I've been doing at home. If you remember a little while ago, I talked you through the conservatory had come down, and I talked you through kind of like my plans. I think there was even a digger in there at that particular point. But as you can see, there is no digger anymore, because we now have the back of the house fully built up. So there it is. It's been one hell of a challenge, I've got to say, one of which I've absolutely loved being part of and actually getting involved, putting all the timbers up. Lots of homework basically is what I've had for this. So even the windows, I was involved in putting the windows in, even to the point of laying the blocks that are obviously behind this render or the scratch coat that you can see right here now. But if we head inside, we are nearly here, because we stood, the digger was basically right here when I shared with you what was kind of happening, and now we've got a table just there. We've got an amazing little fireplace just in the corner there. Henry has been my saviour for the whole project. There is a little utility room through there which hasn't been plumbed in yet. And then if you remember, there was a wall basically across here, and that was the original, which is still the original kitchen. And I'm still waiting on my elm worktop, but I think you'll agree it does look absolutely amazing and very light, very airy. But this is the main reason why I just haven't been able to do anything, because I've been very hands-on with this. And like I said, I've loved every minute of it. Even this lantern up here, having that putting that in, well, with myself, with my uncle helping me, it's just been an amazing experience. One of which I think, you know, it's a challenge, but it's something I think a lot of people should kind of go through, you know. However, as you can see, we are nearly done. Last few kind of snaggy bits. The Sparky needs to come in and put in all the electrics, which is going to be lights and obviously sockets that are running through. The plumber needs to come in and plumb in the radiator and the utility space through there as well. So yeah, an amazing experience for me. One of which I'm going to, well, I don't think I'll be doing this sort of adventure again. I've got to say, it's been very stressful, very tiring, and I'm ready to get back to a bit of golf.